All right, Stormy and I are here to go through the dog's roadmap to success. Now, from what I've seen, I don't see aggressive dogs. I see dogs. Gracie, I think she thought she was helping contribute to the group, and I think she was just disagreeing. Probably doesn't have any experience around little kids. Little kids are difficult for a lot of dogs. That's why if you have a puppy, make sure that you socialize it around kids, and also teach your kids the proper way to interact with dogs. We were talking about off camera how a lot of dogs get blamed for nipping kids when it's entirely the kid's fault because they won't leave the dog alone. So basically we went over, I think going back to having more rules and structure is going to help all the dogs kind of identify and being more of a follower position. So no furniture. Again, look at, if you want to pet the dogs or lay with the dogs, you can always lay down on the floor, put pillows down, and then make a little blanket party and hang out with the dogs as much as you want. They just can't come up to our level for a short period of time, at least a month, if not maybe a couple months, then only with an invitation. And then the short term, that gives us the ability to have a place for the child to be where the child has a little bit more authority. We like to pet with a purpose and use passive training, as I talked about in one of the videos. We also want to use the counter conditioning concept. That's going to be really probably the most important thing for Gracie in terms of her reactivity. But the rules, I don't want to underscore the importance of the rules and structure, because the more rules that are in place, the more she sees the humans are in charge. It's not my place or appropriate for me to nip the child. Now we also went through giving the dog a treat with the child doing that, which is also beneficial, and feeding and adding a little bit of the child's scent to the food will go a long ways towards helping that. Let me see. We didn't really cover exercise. The two, I don't think Gracie is the highest energy dog, but if we're going to do stuff and the child is something that the child is going to do that might produce or provoke or react from Gracie, maybe we take Gracie out for a nice little walk an hour before that, give her a recovery period, so we take off that excess, the hard edge. Let's see, what else? Training the dogs to walk away from the guardians. This one, this write-up, if you're looking at it on Doggone Problems, you're going to see a whole bunch of videos where I talk about all the different techniques, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here. But enforcing the rules consistently, the dogs are going to test to see how serious the humans are going to be about this. So for the next 2 to 4 weeks, we want to be very militant, very strict, have really good timing. Remember, correct or reward the dog within 3 seconds. Use those escalating consequences. Preferably the hiss. Gracie responded really well to the hiss. So practice your hiss. Next time somebody cuts you off in traffic, instead of flipping them off or honking at them, hiss at them in your car. And do a practice a level 1, then a level 10, level 2 until level 9. Go back and forth so you can create some nuance in your hissing. And then basically recognize the signs, like I talked about in one of the videos. So if we can identify what Gracie's signs are and we see that her ears came forward and she started quivering her lips and she looked a little bit sideways in a stare or held her breath, we know, okay, the child's getting a little bit close. Let's toss the treat the other direction and say away. And for the away, because it's kind of arbitrary, what I would try to do is toss it the exact opposite direction of wherever the child is coming from. So otherwise away, if you're doing it inconsistent where you're throwing it, the dog doesn't quite know where. But if you're always throwing it away from the child, then they're going to go 180 away from the child. And teaching the dogs to go away is a great way of teaching them a desirable behavior. Let me see, adding structure to mealtime, also very important. If we can feed the dogs after the humans eat first, that's better, but if not, don't rearrange your eating schedule for the dogs, just eat something in front of them. Go to the, you might want to also practice the door exercise. I didn't go through this, I described it a little bit when I went through my problem solving video, but what you might want to do is actually go to doggoneproblems.com, go to the dog training tips on the right side or left side of the page, it's a search box, just type in door exercise, claiming the door, the 2 terms that we use. You'll see a lot of write-ups that have videos where I detail that. And again, we have 4 dogs here. 2 of them are available for adoption, so if you are looking for a Schnauzer, are they a pair?
Yes.
They go together? Okay, so they're going to go together. They've been together pretty much their whole life. And they're great little dogs. They're 5 years old. They have good energy, not too much energy. They're not a nuisance marker. So go to Nebraska No Kill. What is it? NebraskaNoKill.org, and you can find Gracie and Jake's profile up there and contact, or just message them. We're interested in adopting Gracie and Jake, and they'll hook you up. Yeah, the guardians know that they can call or reach out to me, that this is a rare second appearance for me, but it's really for the other dogs. So make sure you let me know sooner rather than later. I would rather you text me too much than not enough, and text is by far the fastest way to reach me. Now that I travel around the country, it's hard sometimes to do voicemails. All right, Stormy, is there anything else?
No.
It's like, no, unless you have more treats to give me. All right, this is Gracie, Jake, Stormy, and Lucy's roadmap to success. Remember, everything you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it.